Good morning, everybody. How are you doing today? Welcome to the orientation project on this wonderful Austin Wednesday afternoon. Let's open up that chat box. Click that drop down from hosts and panelists to everyone. Type in where you're dialing in from. And let me know how many times you've been here with me on the orientation project. First time, second time. Welcome, Sean. Nashville, we got Alexandra. We'll get started here in just a couple minutes. Let's take a moment here to settle in. And I'm feeling a powerful session today. Slightly congested today, a little better than before. So, are you ready to get something powerful? Welcome, Dan. I recognize your name. Been around before. Good to see you. Who else do we got here? Second time for Alexandra. Steve Womack is here. I'd like to welcome our orientation project members. I'd also like to welcome my Legacy Mindset Academy lifetime members who've been with me for years. Some of them are on here today. Also like to welcome guests here. Remember, if you're attending as a guest, you get a 2-week guest pass. Members get access to replays in the portal. So, how are you feeling today? How are you feeling today? 0 to 10. How are you today? You guys ready to dial in here? Can you guys see my video today? Do you guys see me? Video? We don't need that deck anymore. So today we're going to be talking about success patterns. We'll get started here in just a minute. I like to give everybody till 5 minutes after to settle in. So let's turn off any distractions. Put your phone in airplane mode. Let's get dialed in. And today we're going to talk about patterns of success. Patterns of success. Because the thing about patterns of success is our brain loves to run patterns. It likes to run in predictable ways. And what ends up happening is a pattern of success, something that helped you create success in the past, will eventually become a limiting factor in the future. So my question to you is, are you ready for an expansion today? Let's type in the chat here. And a quick reminder, if you're attending a guest pass, you get to attend 2 times, okay? 2 times. Welcome, members. So, how is your success going this year? If you look at momentum, current momentum, is your current momentum flat? Is it building? Is it declining? Is it defensive? Type in the chat. Which one is it? And let's also check in on your expectations. Your expectations. Is your expectation right now growth? Is it expansion? Is it known growth, known expansion? Which one is it? Maribel's got steady growth. Welcome. Good to see you here, Maribel. Stalled expansion. Because we've had a little bit of a economic situation over the past 4 years. Some of the markets have been hit. Some of the things are coming back. So let's check in. Are you actually open to what's possible? Or are you playing a little defensively right now? Which one is it? Because what we are doing here, and the reason why we're talking about orientation, the reason why we're going to continue to talk about orientation is welcome, Maribel. I saw you join the orientation project last week. Good to have you here. Did you get my email the other day about orientation? Because orientation is basically helping discover the filter that you're viewing reality from. That you're viewing reality from. Yeah, Maribel, welcome. And what ends up happening is we start to view reality from a lens. And that lens we view it from is based on our past. So let's talk about a second, like how that filter is created. Because we can call it our belief structure. We can call it framework. We can call it our subconscious mind. And that pattern is the biggest thing. Like, have you ever felt like you're trying to aim higher, but you feel that internal that shuts you down, that internal emotional roadblock, that internal gut check, So what ends up happening in my experience from, 20,000 hours of coaching thousands of people one-on-one, is that we end up playing in our comfort zone, which is kind of a level of the expectation of our growth with the amount of transformation we can actually handle. And if we're not careful, we end up running in a scaled down version of ourselves. And we don't pay attention. 6 months, a year, multiple years go by. We are playing at a scaled down version. Yes? Does that make sense, everybody? Type yes in the chat if that makes sense. And there are things that can help block that filter and the reality of that filter from coming in place. Things like our fears, right? We like to avoid our fears. Are our fears fear of success? What are you talking about, Jason? Fear of success? Do people have fear of success? People absolutely have fear of success. Fear of failure. Fear of not being good enough. Fear of being alone. Fear of being judged. Fear of being seen. Did I hit a nerve on any of those? I felt the energy wobble right there. Did anybody else feel that? So what we are after with this new model, because remember, I've talked target-based coaching for a long time, for a decade. Hey, where's the target? Where are you going? Where are you going? Where are you going? But most of you are aimed at targets in the unknown, meaning you don't know how to do them, which means focusing on how to get there is not the right way, because you don't know how to get there. You've never been there before. You're in a new track. So right now, we want to focus on the orientation, the filter that you have on reality right now. Because that filter was created to keep you sane and safe and not crazy. Because the way your internal subconscious mind is created is this. You have an experience in life. You are in 7th grade, and that week, for some reason, the cable TV went out. You couldn't watch TV for a week. So you had extra time. So what you did with that extra time was you studied more, and you ended up studying 4 days in a row, and you aced your test. And you realized, which created a belief that says, if I study for 4 days, I will pass the test. Can anybody relate to that belief, right? Because what happens is your brain creates a belief to justify a wanted or unwanted reality, right? It gives you the validation of, hey, that worked because of this. That's a positive belief. It also gives you the disempowering version of the excuse on why it didn't happen. So it basically creates these beliefs, right? Because have you ever looked around and you see other people operating with more freedom, more growth, more expansion, but you feel like life just doesn't work that way for you? Can anyone relate to that? And what ends up happening is, like, as we become more successful, we start to understand, as we get more successful, we start to get more mature, we start to understand our strengths and our weaknesses. And what ends up happening is we start operating in a model that takes advantage of our strengths and takes advantages of limiting the use of our weaknesses. So we start modifying ourselves. And that works for a certain period of time. But every success pattern, you may want to type this in the chat, every success pattern will eventually become a limiting factor in the future. You may want to type that in the chat. Every pattern of success will eventually limit you. Are you with me? Can I get an amen? I guess if coaching doesn't come out, I could be a preacher, shouldn't I? Would you like to come to my sermon? Pastor Jason rocking it? Or maybe I'd be a TV evangelist. No. And the challenge you have is seeing those patterns. Okay? Tell me what thoughts are coming up right now. What thoughts are coming up right now? Any thoughts? Don't worry about what everybody else says. That's right, Bill. Every success factor becomes a limiting factor. Right, Maribel? Awesome, Sean. Welcome to the program. Tell me what thoughts are coming up right now. No, just notice what's coming up. And when you look in the chat, you may see other people. We may see other people in different places. Good, Dan. Because here's the example I can give you. When I'm coaching a client will come to me. I'll talk to the client. The client is focused on the problem, right? The client is looking at the problem. They're like, okay, how do I solve this problem? Their focus is on the subject, yes? What I'm doing when I'm coaching, most coaching out there, the coach will also look at the problem and say, okay, here's how to solve the problem. If you notice, my coaching is different because what I'm doing is I'm not looking at the problem. I am looking at the person who's looking at the problem. Right? I'm looking at the watcher of the problem. Because the way we continue to grow beyond our limitations is by becoming aware of the limitations in our view. And they are very hard to see on your own. I'm a professional coach, and I spend my days in the personal growth industry helping other people, and I still can't see my own. That's why I still talk to coaches. If you look at people who are in nonstop coaching, they are crushing it right now. One of my long-term clients is getting a 6-figure commission check next month. When's the last time you had a 6-figure commission check in 1 month? Would you like one of those? and let's check in right now. When I said 6-figure, imagine getting a 6-figure commission or earnings next month. How many of you immediately thought that's fucking impossible? Did you say that's impossible? Or, oh, yes, I could do that? Where were you? Let's have a little honesty in there. Which answer came up? Maribel's trying to copy him. She's like, what does he do? I want to copy that. He's a rock star. But okay, so right there's a limitation right there. Well, so Rick has given me his rules there. Right? So right there is a simple example of what reality, what frame. Are you operating in a frame where you get 6-figure checks? Or are you operating in a frame where you only do 4-figure checks? Yes. Are you seeing now why you want to spend more time with me? Type in the chat what emotion and thoughts you're feeling right now. Give me more feedback. Okay. Could be the right niche. Okay. Yeah. Dan, love that honesty right there. Love that clarity. How many can relate to Dan's comment? Dan said it's not about what to do, it's about why I don't do what I know I should do. We talked 2 weeks ago about old identity, new identity, right? We talked about old identity, new identity. And the number one thing that prevents moving from that new identity to the old identity from the new identity is the perception of safety in the old identity. The reason why you're not doing what you know you should do is because there's more comfort in staying the same and there's more discomfort in taking the action. I know some of you on here right now should absolutely be doing something radically different than you're doing right now. Yes, Christine, I feel that discomfort. It's funny how we forget about the discomfort of actually staying. Because there's actually discomfort where you're at right now. Tell me how you're feeling right now in this chat. Light or heavy or neutral? Light and heavy. How are you feeling? Light, heavy, or neutral? Okay. If you're feeling heavy, sit in the heaviness. Stay in the heaviness. Stay in the heaviness. If you're light, stay in the lightness. Everybody can get what they need out of the session. And if you're in the heaviness, breathe. All of you repeat after me. I take full ownership of my life and everything in it. I take full ownership of my reality and everything in it. I am not afraid of heaviness and discomfort. I am willing to be uncomfortable to grow. I choose to do the right thing. I choose to see what I've been avoiding looking at. All right. All right. Let's check in a little bit here. All right. Grab your pen. Let's look at this, okay? I'm going to give you some time to answer these questions. So the first question is, what are 3 things you've learned about business and success in life? I'm going to give you a minute or two. What are 3 things? Because we're going to let's dive into some of these success patterns. So what I say is, what is the number one thing you've learned about success in business? Type it in the chat. Let's do it that way. What's the number one thing you've learned about success in business and life? If you'd like, I'll give you my answers too. Yeah, for me, my number one rule about life and success was do what you say you're going to do. Welcome to the program, Bill. Welcome, Sean. Excited to have you guys here. If you guys just joined, you can get a complimentary 30-minute session with me. Welcome. What about you? What is the number one success pattern? Christine, you're here. What's one of your success patterns? Rick, what about you, brother? Raquel, Maribel, Terrence, Sean, work hard and get there. Okay, good. Keep your word. That's good, Dennis. Yes. Mine is do what you say you're going to do. That's my first one. If you've already typed in the first one, what's the second one? What's the second rule about success in business and life that you've learned? Okay. The thing we need to now, how many of you have I have to work hard to be successful? Is that there? Come on, honestly. So awesome. Maribel's been listening to me for a while, so she cleaned that one up. Let's clean that one up right now if it needs to be cleaned up, because the problem with these success patterns that we usually miss is that the inverse is also true. Which means if I have to work hard to create success, anytime I'm not working hard, I am in the frame of believing I'm not creating success. Yes? I know Christine. Christine knows the path. For those of you that have that belief of I have to work hard to create success, let's clean that up right now with a repeat after me. Let's first do okay, so I take full ownership of my life and everything in it. I choose to live in a world of immediate transformation. This old belief, I have to work hard to create success, or whatever variant of that I believe, is my belief. I created it. I take full ownership of it, and I release it now. Oh, felt that. Breathe. Deep breath. Good. Let's continue. This new belief, I do not have to work hard to create success, because success does not come from working hard. Success comes from aligning with success. I choose to live in a reality where success occurs when I work hard, and success also occurs when I don't work at all. I choose to believe this 100%. I take ownership of anything contradictory to this, and I release it now. Deep breath. Did that make anyone feel lighter? Anyone feel lighter for that? Okay, good. Good, Christine. Now, let's check in on another belief that my intuition just told me about. Does anybody running any conditions right now of like, I have to do this before I do that? Like what I really want to do, I am not able to do yet. Does anybody have a variant of that running? Type yes or no. Okay. Okay, let's clean that one up. Let's see, how should I frame this? Okay. I take full ownership of my life and everything in it. The world that I live in is non-linear. Success can happen at any time. I no longer have prerequisites to the larger targets that I'm aiming for. Sometimes I will aim at a smaller target first because it's more comfortable. But the truth is, I can hit whatever target I'm pulled to right now, even if a part of me thinks I need to do something else first. Because whether I'm aiming at target A or target B that follows A, it does not matter. Because they're simply just goals. They are targets with a plan. And I choose to live in the reality where I can hit any target I want at any time. Maribel, I'll see you later. Talk tomorrow. Take a deep breath. Are you feeling more expanded right now? Okay. Let's check in on feels good to be expanded, doesn't it? So let's check in right now. What is a belief about success in the current market situation or the current economic situation or the current political or geopolitical situation that has been occurring over the past 2 years? What belief are you operating from right now that is different than what you operated from, say, 5 years ago? Especially those of you in real estate. Okay. Good, Nina. But what does that belief about success mean? Oh, there's some heaviness there. I feel it. What about you, Mr. Jaffe? Just stop and hide under a rock. Yeah. How many of you in real estate are in real estate and have changed your success patterns? Yeah, Terrence, great. People don't have extra money to spend. I have gotten caught in that one myself. I absolutely have. What else? What do you got there? What about you, Jeff? Keith? Raquel? Sanjay? Trudy? Bill? Okay. Good, Dan. Good awareness. Okay. Good, Dennis. Or Bill, excuse me. Yeah, Christy, got to keep the W-2 just in case. Yeah. Awesome, Rick. Now there's an awareness of what's going on. Like you can look at you can see a difference in the market or the world, and you can have a powerful reaction to that. But what I'm curious about is where are you playing smaller right now? Where have you started to play defense or aim lower? Is your goal for this year where you want it to be? Or are you aiming at a lower target? Now, compare how you're operating right now, your current pattern of momentum, talking March 2026, your current pattern of momentum based on how you're operating. Okay? Get a sense of that. Get a sense of your pattern of momentum based on how you're operating and the actions you're taking consistently, like the volume, the type, etc. How does that pattern of behavior you're living in today compare to, say, 2019, 2020? Type in the chat. How does it compare? Good, Bill. Give me the pattern of behavior from 2019. What was that pattern? Let's stick with it, everybody. Type in the chat. Okay. Yes, Nina, but like how did you operate differently then? Like how are you different? Because there's a frame that you have adopted consciously or subconsciously that's causing you to operate differently. Good, Nina. Keep digging. What changed that? Yeah. 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 Is there any reason that you cannot act like you did in 2019? Is there any reason you can't? Ooh, I felt that. Breathe through the discomfort. Breathe through the height to heaviness. Breathe through the tightness. Do you honestly believe that you are incapable of the level of success, the type of success that you had in 2019 this year? So let's uncover what is the fear underneath that you're avoiding. Fear of failure? Fear of success? Fear of being seen? Fear of being alone? Here's the thing is that we have to accept, to be open to life, to be open to growth, to be open to expansion, we have to accept that those fears are possible. Because when we resist a possibility in life, we start to shut ourselves down in what's possible in life. Because if you're resisting some of the process, you're resisting all of the process. So let's do this, repeat after me, and you're not going to like it, but we're going to do it anyway. Okay? Are you ready to get uncomfortable? Type yes. Give me yeses from everybody. The way you grow is you face the discomfort and you become friends with it. And Stephen, going through that separation, divorce, brother, I've been there. The cure for loneliness is sadly be alone so much it doesn't bother you anymore. But there's a magical gift in being alone. You actually find yourself there. So let's dive in. I take full ownership of my life and everything in it. I understand the truth that I may fail this year. I understand that failure is one of the possible outcomes. I no longer resist failure. I also understand that wild success is also one of the options. I no longer resist wild levels of success. I also understand that being rejected is a possible option. I no longer avoid or resist fear of rejection. Being rejected. Keep breathing. Breathe. I also understand that I may be seen and visible by more people than I feel comfortable by. I no longer resist being seen by everyone. I also understand I may be afraid of being alone. And I may resist being alone. I no longer fear being alone. I also understand I may run out of money. I no longer fear running out of money. I choose to be open to life, to all possibilities. I take ownership of anything contradictory to this. Any hidden resistance I'm not consciously aware of. And I allow all of it to integrate completely now. Because even if I fail, even if I succeed, even if I'm rejected, even if I'm seen, even if I'm alone, and even if I run out of money, I am not going to stop. Because nothing is going to stop me. Because the reality that I'm living in, I am just getting started. I choose to believe this 100%. Past, present, and future me. All versions. I take ownership of anything contradictory to this. And I integrate it completely now. Breathe. Because I know I am only one phone call away from everything I've always dreamed of. That's the reality I choose to live in. And that's the reality that I now live in. Okay. Type in the chat for me. How are you feeling now? There you go, Steve. How are you doing 0 to 10? Once you make this shift of stop avoiding discomfort, you start to become liberated. Who's got a question right now? A comment, a thought. Why do you need to listen to this recording, Nina? Repeat after me, everybody. I do not need to listen to the recording because I've got everything I need out of this session. I can choose to listen to the recording if I want to expand what I get out of this session. Yes. Let's create a new rule of success right now. What is a new rule of success you want to operate by? Is it something like external factors, market conditions, politics, global situations, do not bother me. Do not stop me. They do not hold me back. Let's also get into alignment with point A. I am exactly where I need to be right now. And a question for you, has your filter, has your orientation changed today? Type in the chat how it has shifted or capture it in your own notes. What's the biggest orientation shift you've made today? Some of us have wild success right in front of us. Like Christine, like Nina. I know those two personally. That's why. Wild success is right there. The door is right there. Who else that I don't know as well has a doorway to that next level right there? Right there. Whether you're leaving your W-2, you're taking bold action. Let's see what it was. Awesome for sharing, Trudy. So if you did not fear failure, and you did not fear success, and you did not fear being seen, and you did not fear rejection, and you did not fear being alone, what doorway is open to you right now? If you were free of all of those fears and limitations, and you were operating just like you did in 2019 or when you were at your best, what door is currently open for you to walk through? Good. So many, Nina. So many. Christine, how many of those doors could you walk through in 80 hours a week? I'm curious. Okay. So why don't you tell me, everybody, how are you doing right now, 0 to 10? 0 to 10. Let's check in. Good, Steve. It's the highest I've seen you in a while. Oh, if you guys want to grow, reach out to Kirk. That dude's a rock star. We started coaching in 2019. 2020? Oh my God, he was the hardest client to close. So, what is an action or actions you are going to commit right now? What is that action you're going to take in the next week? And let's put some accountability in it. Type yes if you know an action you should take in the next week that's pushing it to the next level, that's walking through a doorway that you would formerly not do. Type yes if you know what that is. Where's everybody else? We got Andrew, Ann, Dan, Christine, Dave, Eileen, Ingrid, Jeff, Keith, Nina, Raquel, Rick, Sanjay, Sherry, Steve, Terrence, Trudy, William, and you. Now, type that action into the group with accountability that says, I will take this action this week. Drop that accountability to the group right here. I dare you. I dare you. Dan, say, I commit to everyone in the group that I'm going to set an appointment every day. Try that one. I will reach out this week. Bill, I know you're a man of your word. Fantastic. What else? Come on. Yes, I can feel you stuck in the stomach. What else? Yes, Trudy. Yes, Christine. Christine's going to stop avoiding me. Book that call. Yes, Dan. Awesome, Nina. Christine, you can't hide from me. You know that, right? Awesome, Raquel. Complete the funding process. Steve. Yes. Steve, I would also invite you to make space for the grief. Okay? Make space for the grief. Give yourself 30 minutes a day, an hour a day. It will help contain it and focus it and process. Okay. When I made that shift, it was big. What else? Who else we got? Rick, what do you got for the week? Sanjay, Jerry, Terrence. Good, Andrew. And if you just joined the orientation project, want a session with me, text me right there. We'll set it up. Welcome. If anyone else has questions, you can shoot me a text. I know you get texts from my automated system, the 737 number, but this 916 number is my direct number. Okay. Let's take a moment here as we wrap up. Let's recap. Type in the chat. Good, Eileen. Let's type in the chat your takeaways from today. Let's recapture them right now. What did you learn today? What are your thoughts today? How would you describe this session? Yes, Dennis, that's good. William, Bill, Rick, good. Open discovery for new market. Yeah, yes. What else? What did you learn today? Steve, let's check the language there, brother. You're not poor. You're in a building phase. Yes, Nina, if you need to talk, shoot me a text. Good, Christine. Good, everybody. Next week, this replay will be in the portal within the next 24 hours if you want to watch it. Next week, we're going to be talking about overwhelm and capacity. Going to be expanding our capacity so we can handle overwhelm and move through it. Okay. If you did not read, did anybody get my email on Friday? Did you get my email about orientation on Friday? Did anybody not get that email? Reread that. The email I sent on Friday, it may have had the subject line orientation or it may have had the subject line transmission number 5. If you haven't been getting my emails, pull it out of your spam box or whatever, open it. You'll start receiving them again. That email talks about orientation at a deep level. If you didn't get it, send me a note and I'll resend it to you. And I would reread that multiple times. It was basically the philosophy of orientation. All right, everybody. Thank you all for joining me today. Thank you, Orientation Project members. Thank you, Lifetime Academy, Mindset Academy members, my OGs. Thank you, guests. Remember, you can attend 2 times complimentary. Would love to see you guys continue. Let's make a difference, make an impact. Yes, there is stuff going on in the world. Let's be the light, the impact that changes it. Yes. If I could be of service, reach out. Thank you all for supporting me. Thank you for being here. I love doing this. Let's make this year amazing. I'll leave this Zoom up for another 15 minutes if you want to sit in the energy for a little bit. Talk to you all next week. Have an amazing day. I appreciate all of you. Bye-bye.